Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another live episode of Something Super Spiritual. And we have our resident tarot extraordinaire, Liz Zamorski, live from Sweden.
Tack så mycket. Thanks so much for having me.
So, Liz, thank you so much for being here. Second time in a row. I feel like I must have done something good. So, we are going to do readings here for everybody for the next hour-ish. But you know what? I wanted to get started and talk a little bit about what we were talking about right before we came on. And I think it's really inspiring. And there's and it's important. I think that we just kind of forget when we get in those moments of feeling a little bit stuck and we feel like we don't have much control. So give us a little rundown of what you were just telling me right before we got on.
Yeah. So I said, because I was live on your show last Wednesday, same time. Thank you so much for having me back. And when we first connected this week, tonight, I said, you know, a lot has shifted. I've jumped timelines since we last spoke, which was only 7 days ago. And you said, oh, how so? And I was saying, you know, I was just working through something. Like I just had something heavy on my heart and I was really trying to unravel it and trying to kind of make space for it and figure out, like, am I supposed to be doing something? Am I supposed to be, you know, healing something here? Am I just supposed to be holding this? And I just wasn't sure. And then the time came and I just knew what to do. Like the opportunity arose, I rose to the occasion and I worked through something. And, you know, set bigger boundaries, stood up for myself, articulated what I needed to say. And with it, I mean, this had me in such knots that like when I would get an email about the subject, you know, my heart would start pounding. I mean, it was a big reaction. And now, after shifting through it, I said to someone yesterday, it's almost like it never happened. Like I got the lesson and I'm understanding the lesson. I'm applying it already, but all of that turmoil, like the weight of what I was carrying around for so long, it's almost like it never happened. I don't feel the echo of it. And in the past, it would have taken me a long time to disengage after having like a confrontation or having to set a boundary like that. I'd be playing that over and over in my head for months, if not, you know, old relationships for a long time, just being like, what happened? And this time, I mean, I was able to just get the lesson, cut the cords, and move on and be like, okay, I got what I needed from that. I don't need to keep revisiting it. So it's just so, and then you said, it's like having a virus. So I'd love to hear you say that again, because it was just such an important analogy for the whole thing.
Yeah. So when we are in this place of feeling that, you know, that stuckness and not quite sure how to remedy it right now, you know, and then, like you said, all of a sudden you're just kind of like going through the motions and doing what you feel like you need to with the tools that you have in your toolbox, right? And then all of a sudden it just shifts and boom, it lifts and the light comes in. And like you said, you feel like you've just jumped timelines. But during that and moving to that space, it's like having a virus and you just have to let it move through at its natural point. And you know that you really can't control anything when we have a virus, when we have a cold. We know what we just have to, like, you know, take our vitamins, get our rest, eat chicken noodle soup.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And it's the same thing. It's very similar on the spiritual level, you know. And I love that you shared that, because I think a lot of people are really experiencing a lot of shift right now with respect to the eclipse, you know. Eclipses always seem to bring a lot of synchronicity into our realms and into our experience, and a lot of opportunity to shift and a lot of opportunity to have that awareness of what is not working. It sheds, you know, new light on what it is that we're doing. And that's the whole point of the eclipse, where, you know, it does change the lighting and we start to see things differently.
Yeah. I kept calling this one the clip eclipse because I just felt like the cosmic scissors were coming in and just being like, cutting out the stuff that needed to go, for sure.
Yeah, this one felt so much different to me because I feel like I went into it with a much more conscious, I want to say like conscious awareness, maybe. Like the last one in 2017 that went over this area where I am. And it was almost a full blackout. If it wasn't full, it was like really, really close. And, you know, I had already been on the spiritual path for over 10 years. But after that eclipse, like my world shifted in so many departments, on so many levels. And all of a sudden it was like the Tower card. The Tower card hit me in every direction. Which I needed. You know, the universe will come in and pull that rug when we are not doing anything about it. We're getting the messages, and if we're not doing anything to change what we know is not working out of fear, a lot of times the familiarity of the uncomfortable, the discomfort, the familiarity is more comfortable than the unknowns of feeling like, can you get out of it? So yeah. So that's what happened to me, the last eclipse. And I'm like, I'm not going through that again. No, I am going to pay attention. And so I took my dogs for a walk during the eclipse while it was all happening through the whole thing, just to bask in that energy and say, you know what, I'm here, I'm paying attention, and let's do this.
Yeah. And that shift into the awareness and away from the fear. You know, where the fear is really, I don't know what could happen. And the awareness is anything could happen. Yeah. So let me be here with it. It's amazing. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's empowering is what it is. You know, there's a true sense of empowerment, even though change is scary. And even though we might be experiencing synchronicities that are pointing out the direction we need to go, that is the change we need, there's an empowering sense underneath and underlying all of that. And that's where we can, you know, take control of it, you know, and feel like we have some semblance of control when we may not. So yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. So my virus is lifted for now.
Awesome.
Until the next cold and flu season rolls around.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And with Mercury in retrograde right now, yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on for a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly.
So, all right. You guys, we're here. We're going to do readings for you. I see that my YouTube isn't working for some reason. My Facebook is, which is great. Hi, everybody from Facebook. Deborah, Amy, Liz, do you see the comments? Hi, Jody.
I see the comments. Hi. It's so good to be back.
I'm so glad you're back. I always have a blast with you. So something's not working with my YouTube. Okay, well, that's all right. That's okay.
That's okay. We can pull here.
Yeah. All right, you guys. So Instagram is working. That's awesome. I see you guys over there. MGMC Glenn. Hi there. And To Cancer with Love. Oh, that's a sweet screen name. B. Hazen, Mary Grissy. Hi, Candy. All right, so we've got some people saying that they would like some cards pulled. So yeah, let's get into this for everybody and see what Spirit has to say. So you can see the comments. You go ahead and choose somebody.
I'm going to choose Deborah. Was the first person I saw, so I don't know if that's in order or not, but I'm choosing Deborah.
Deborah.
Hey, Deborah. Thanks so much. Okay. So it's really hard for me to pull one card.
Oh yeah, that's okay.
So I just pull multiple, but I'll breeze through them. Deborah, 4 cards came out for you, and this is so beautiful. whatever I don't know if you do. Sorry, Jeffrey, I should have asked. Like, do you usually have people ask a specific question, or are we just pulling?
Some of them do, and some of them just go with whatever spirit
Okay.
needs to be spoken.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to jump in for Deborah
Go ahead.
then,
Yep, go with
because
Deborah.
we got Knight of Pentacles, we got the Knight of Swords, the Seven of Swords, and the King of Swords. So, Deborah, it sounds like you're really getting all of the messages that it's time to move forward. It's time to start planting some seeds, or it's time to tend to some seeds that you've already planted. It's time to be patient. But it feels like there's like old doubt or like old deceit kind of rattling around in your head, like old stories that were given to you by whoever this King of Swords is. He feels like a character to me. And when I'm reading a King of Swords energy, it comes through for me as an older male, like a father, a grandfather, or someone who was like a teacher or mentor, someone who had some type of, that you looked up to, planted some doubt in your head. I'm talking about the Seven of Swords here. And that maybe that doubt was intended to be loving and protective and to help you, but it's not. And what it's doing is it's holding you back from actually showing up and nourishing, nurturing, being patient, trusting, having faith in yourself. And so it's time for you. There's an offer out there from the universe that it's time for you to really start looking at what's my truth? What are the things that I know to be true? To be getting curious around the thoughts that come up for you, and to really see, like, what is it that you want to be planting? How is it that you want to be moving forward? And how can you lovingly move through the doubt? How can you lovingly close out those stories that don't serve you? So that's my reading for you. I'm sending you a lot of love. This feels like big change, but it's beautiful and you can do it.
It is beautiful, and you can do it, Deborah. So Deb was she was with us last week, and I don't know if you remember, she was doing her first mediumship reading back after a year that evening. And so this is huge, Deb. This is, I mean, everything that Liz just told you, completely. It's what we all go through. That self-doubt, that questioning, that second guessing, that night of that Knight of Swords within us, telling us who that, what it is and what it isn't. And it's just, it's that illusion on our insides, and it's our ego. Our ego thinks that it's trying to protect us from the torch wielding villagers that are going to come after us and burn us at the stake. No. So I love what you said to her. It was absolutely beautiful. And the card that came out for Deb right now is courage. And so, I mean, if that just doesn't wrap this up in a beautiful bow, you had been feeling you've been feeling your messages, you've been feeling your guides, you've been getting the nudges from your guides, guardians, the universe, however we want to call it. It's all the same, and it's all been tapping you on the shoulder. You were paying attention to it. You followed it last week. You had that incredibly successful, super beautiful, and super healing session. And so now you're here just hearing this extra validation. So brava, darling. You keep going, keep going, keep going.
That was so beautiful. I do that a lot with the little snaps.
Oh, look. And she says, I pulled the courage card for myself the other day. Yeah.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That just opened my heart so much. I love what you said. And yeah. I also receive every word. Like, I love hearing readings, even if they're not intended for me. I'm always like, I'll take that. I'll take some of that. Like, I needed to hear that.
It's true. And for those of you that are on here and you hear one of us say something to somebody else, if it pings you on your insides, it's for you too. You were supposed to be here to hear that message. It happens all the time. Synchronicity in action.
Love it. I keep trying to stream this to my audience and I can't get it figured out. So I'm going to stop trying to do that. Okay. I just needed to address it. Mercury retrograde just crawled right into my desktop here. So
seriously, this is the first time my YouTube has never worked. So, okay, well,
yeah.
You know what? We roll with it.
It's just us. It's just us. This feels good.
All right, so I'm gonna go to Instagram now and see. Let's see. To Cancer with Love. She says, I'd love to have my card pulled. And I wonder if I can. Oops. I don't want to close out. Okay, so To Cancer with Love. I hope you're still here, Liz. Tune in to Cancer with Love. She'd love to have a card read. Okay. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, Vicky. Hi, Stouffer. Stouffer's here. Steve. Hi, Steve.
I can't see the Instagram comments, but I'm just tuning into this person. Did they have a specific question, did you say, or they just wanted a card?
Just a card. Let me see if she's answered,
Okay.
said anything. Oh, there she is. Oh, she just said thank you. She says she's still
Okay.
here. Yeah.
Okay, I've got some things to say if you don't, if
Go,
I
you
can
go,
just
go,
jump
go,
in.
go. Yep.
Okay. So we got, I'm pulling from this Elemental Oracle, and it was number 22, Motion Air, and it's these thunderous horses coming through, these 4 horses. Then we got the Soul Passion, this eye with the waterfall, and Fury Bushfires. And so the first thing that jumps out at me when I look at these 3 cards is that we have air, we have water, we have fire, and it's not just a little bit, it's a lot. We have like rolling thunder for the air. We have this pouring waterfall for the water, and we have bushfires, like furious fire for the fire. And the one thing that's missing is earth. And so it feels like there's all of this stuff going on. You're getting really like moved through emotions, moved through experiences, and it just kind of feels like it's like hitting you in the face, hitting you in the face. And it can leave us feeling very ungrounded. And so I'm not saying that like the medicine or the antidote is to get grounded, but it feels like that could be a really good place to put your focus right now through whatever it is that you're going through, is just getting yourself in your body and facing it. And again, if you're not ready for that, that's fine. I feel like there's another message that's coming through for that I can't get, but maybe that's in the other cards or something. But I really feel like just brace yourself, because this isn't like a little bit. This is a bushfire. This is a deluge of emotion.
Yeah.
So
To Cancer with Love, if you can put some messages in the comments to let us know that you understand what we're saying. One of the things that I felt immediately was a great sense of anxiety, and that really like pings with what you were saying about the fires and the waters and whatnot. And there's this great feeling too where I have this. It's like I feel like you have. One of the things is to really like stand up for yourself, or to speak your truth, or to stand up, and it feels very positive to me. Like it feels very proactive. But I just get this sense of this, like your backbone. You're having a backbone. You're standing up straight. You're empowered. There's a shift here. And I feel like that she says, I'm at a better place, lost my mom, then diagnosed with cancer, but I stay positive and embrace life. Okay. So there is that anxiety, definitely. I really want to encourage you to recognize that strength on your inside, that strength that sits you upright and in your power. I want you to recognize where you've been, where you are, and where you're going with gratitude. Like your name, your screen name, To Cancer with Love. Just the feeling in those words is so empowering and so beautiful. That's the backbone that I was feeling. That's that backbone and that strength. So I want to say that I'm so sorry for your loss of your mother. And she says, yes, exclamation. I just resigned from my job where I was discriminated during cancer. And I have a nonprofit in the Himalayas, which is my purpose in life. Yes. Yes. This is awesome. You know what? When we lose our jobs, oh, let's be honest, it sucks. It sucks when the universe pulls the rug out like that. However, when the universe pulls that rug and we have absolutely no control, you are being redirected. You're completely being redirected. So I have a very strong feeling within all of this for you with where you are. It feels good. It feels great. It feels purposeful. It feels like I just want to say, you know what? Face that direction and go with God because it feels incredible. And the card that came up for you is beauty. And I want you to recognize the beauty in all of this. The beauty in being fired. I mean, even the beauty in being discriminated against. I mean, let's find some light in that, you know? It just reminds us how people are afraid of their own shadows and stuck in their own old ways where, you know, we come up through these cultures of imprints and yeah. So I just really want you to see what's ahead and recognize that this is awesome. Do you have anything to add to that, Liz?
No, I was just I loved when you said their screen name, To Cancer with Love, because what popped in my head was how much of the messaging we get around like F cancer or I have to defeat cancer, and to be able to really, and I'm not saying that we have to see in this light, but just being able to create a relationship with it that's yours.
Yeah.
It's like that's that grounding. And when you said backbone and like stand up, I just really saw the feet on the ground. And I was like, you can weather any storm if you have that awareness and you have that backbone for yourself. So I loved that.
Yeah. She says, I resigned. I wasn't fired. I chose to step away from the toxicity. I'm sorry. I misunderstood, but actually that's even better. That right there, just it like highlights your backbone, you know, that's awesome.
Good for you. Don't take it from anyone. Anyway.
Thank you. Thank you, my dear.
Thank you.
That. All right, you pick now, Liz.
I saw a Lori hanging around.
Lori, I saw Lori somewhere too.
Lori Van Langen in
Lori, there she is. Oh, thank you. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. So let's see. Let's see with Lori. Oh, she's here. Okay, good. I also just started streaming live to my Facebook page. The future is now.
Awesome.
So hopefully we get some other people in.
All right. So Lori, right off the bat, I just want to, let's see. How do I feel? I feel a little bit scattered. I feel like I have a lot of irons in the fire. I feel like I don't feel uncomfortable with it. I don't feel negative about it, but I feel like I want to I feel like I have my energy going in so many directions, but it feels good. I feel like I'm in that direction. I'm present in this direction too. I'm present in this direction too. There's this feeling where I just want to encourage grounding. There's a sense of feeling a little bit of overwhelm. And I like focus. Like I just want to like talk about focus with you for a moment. And it feels like what you're doing has such I feel like there's a profound effect in all of those directions. I hope this is resonating with you because it feels so I feel like that like I see the ripples the ripples that go out when we make change, when we touch others, the healing aspect of what we do. I'm so excited. I feel awesome about what it is that you're doing, and it's okay to get flustered and feel scattered and feel like overwhelmed by, and owning, like, I know I did this to myself, but you've got collaboration, you've got help all around you, you've got help in the spirit world, you've got your guides, your guardians, and it feels like all of that is absolutely within your reach. So I just really want to encourage grounding and reaching out, like it's okay to ask for help.
Oh, you just read my cards, by the way. I love when that happens. I'm like, well, that's what I got. But I just want to show like how, or did you have cards out that you pulled, or you were just,
you know what I did, but I barely looked at them here. Well, here, look at this. Here's the 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Discs, gain, success, right? And here's, come back here. Here's the 8, the major arcana. In this deck, it's called adjustment, but it's the Libra, it's the balance, it's,
Well, there you go, because you read them even more, because the first card I had was 5 of Wands, and look at all these people who are bringing their irons to the fire, or like they're bringing their thing and just kind of, instead of working together and using each of their tools to like build the ladder or the way to reach everyone reaching the same goal, they're just kind of like, well, we're just going to figure this out, and we're going to try this way, and then we're going to try this way. And that's fine, because they're also learning and they're also building something. But it feels like, so this is Temperance, which is interesting because it kind of goes with the balance card that Jeffrey had, where we have this energy of, you know what you're doing, and it may look messy or chaotic from the outside, but you also get to decide, like, is this where I thrive? Is this where I actually get a lot of things done? Is starting a project 2 weeks out just going to put me in a mode where I'm trying to force something? But if I start it 5 days before, it flows. Like, you is really coming through with that groundedness. Like, you really know how you work, how you thrive. And I want to point out here too, that we have this like big archangel behind this person. So it's also like, you're not doing it alone. You have support, just like was just said, like, you have support from the other side. You're being guided. So you just have to stay open to that. And when you said reach out, look at this card. He's literally reaching out. That's why I laughed at the end when you said reach out. Because in this deck, this is the Devil card, and it came out reversed. And so I felt like what this was trying to say was like old patterns maybe trying to come up, like old, I want to call them like upper limit patterns, that when you feel that you're kind of getting to your upper limit and you're going to, kind of jump over and get to that next, it's hard because I know it's not linear, but I'm going to say like next level, but it's just kind of like that next iteration, that next level of awareness, and being able to use it and feeling really in control, like that 9 of Discs, feeling like, you're resourced and you can rely on yourself and others. And so it just feels like sometimes we can have little built-in traps for ourselves, like where we put ourselves in overwhelm, so then we never cross that bridge all the way over, or like we keep ourselves kind of pushed up against that ceiling or that limit. So it just feels like it's saying, like, and you're aware. So just keep an eye out, like if you start kind of overwhelming yourself or putting too much on the plate, because that might be a form of like self-sabotage, and just move into self-love in those areas and be like, how would a loving version of myself guide myself through this up level? So I hope that's helpful.
She said,
oh, yay.
Thank you, Lori.
Yeah, thank you, Lori.
It feels really good. It feels really good in the big picture. And I'm hugging you from here. Totally. Okay, so we had a, sorry about my, if I like felt like I went distant for a minute, we had a spammer in here.
Oh, do we do like or anything like that?
Yeah.
Oh, big hugs to you.
Oh, thank you, Lori. Okay, let me go to Instagram and see who's here. Oh, hi, Courtney. Oh, Courtney's here. Do you know Courtney Dawson? She's an amazing medium, psychic medium teacher. She's in Canada.
Hey, Courtney.
Kevin's here. Kevin Lewis. He's another one from Canada. One of my besties. He's doing the Sedona retreat with me.
Beautiful.
Vicky. Hi, Vicky. RD Asru 2. RDASROO. Okay, RD Asru says, cool, would love some cards pulled.
Where will she stop? Nobody knows. Okay, here we go.
Right. Cheryl's here. Cheryl Murphy's here. Hi, Cheryl. Okay. RD Asru.
Okay, I'm jumping in.
Go ahead. Go.
I first pulled the Three of Cups and the Lovers. And so the first thing that popped in my head was about our relationships with others. You know, friendships, teammates, partners, just like looking at the quality of those relationships. And the Four of Cups came out. So it feels like there may be something around your interpersonal relationships that's really feeling dissatisfactory, or like it's not satisfying anymore. And like you're always looking, or maybe you feel like you're looking for that next thing. Like, oh, if I go out with this person, or if I take this meeting, like that will be the thing. And really what all of this is saying, like we're going to shortcut because the Moon card also came out, and it feels like what all of this dissatisfaction is trying to guide you toward is to go inward, to feel like, what is it? It's not about what everyone else brings to the table. It's what do I bring to the table that I want to be sitting at? Or what type of table do I want to be sitting at in whatever realm of life? And that usually requires us to really start getting real about some things inside of us, like how we feel, what we really want, how that might not jive with what we've been told we should want. And so I just feel like there's this exploration. So maybe it's not so much about like how to fix the relationships around you, because it feels like that might have been pulling your focus in and keeping you distracted, when really it's like, what is it that I like, starting to understand what it is you want, because that's going to be a lot easier to manifest when you know what table you want to go to and what you bring to it. So that's what I got.
Yes.
Sending you love.
It makes a lot of sense. I was feeling a lot of shift within her as well. I think it's a her, them. Okay. Sorry, RD Asru. It's hard when we don't know their names. So I was feeling a lot of shift. I was feeling a lot of change, and it feels like it feels like it could be difficult. I feel a little bit of like stress and anxiety around it, but at the same time, it's like I want to say that I knew that those people should go, that they weren't in my best and highest good, that there was a toxic relationship in the works here. You know what I mean? Where it's either oh, she's okay, she's girl. Okay. So where there's like an imbalance in the relationships. Somebody's too much of a taker, or codependency, or not being authentic, an authenticity that's not quite there. Okay, so while I'm feeling this, and you're talking about your cards, it's the Tower. And it does feel like that there's a lot of shift with regard to that whole area. But then I have the 20, the Eon. This is the Eon. I think, is this the Judgment in regular?
Yeah.
Okay, so this Eon, this card represents, if you look at the the picture. It looks like a womb. Okay. This is the womb of the universe that has your back, your nurturing, your comfort in mind. And this is when anytime the tower shows up, we're talking like, you know, we're clearing out the old, we're clearing out the what no longer serves us. And when we see it from the aspect of the truth, where we recognize, okay, this relationship isn't good for me, this isn't good, and you know, we come at it from a place of that empowering sense, this shines from our inside out, and we start to, it just like, we come into alignment with our soul, and we start to come into that place where we start to manifest and attract those who we vibe with, who are at our level. Those, especially in the spiritual work, the spiritual community, we start to attract those who are of a little bit more self-awareness, those who are a little bit more self-accountable, self-responsible. We're working through the shadow work. We're starting to acknowledge our own toxicity and recognizing, okay, you know what, here's where these have been my patterns in the past, and this is what I need to do to shift and change. And so we start to attract those people who are doing the same work, and we start to attract those in a higher, we're vibrating higher, we're vibrating, we're resonating. The frequencies are elevating, right? So I echo all that which you said, Liz. It was really beautifully spoken. And it just feels like this is, especially with this eclipse and the synchronicity happening within the now, as you are experiencing this within the people around you. I think it's awesome, and it feels really positive.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed this. She says, yes, ma'am, that is correct. People shifting in my life.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
It's good.
Mm-hmm. I think that's
sometimes
happening.
We need that.
Yeah, we do. Well, and I think that's happening more and more, you know, with all that is shifting in this world, you know, and people are really waking up more and more to themselves and recognizing their own patterns in dysfunction, and really recognizing, oh, you know, and here's the thing. I'm gonna give you this little brief metaphor, so to speak, because this has been coming up a lot in readings lately. So if you think about children who might be experiencing the childhood traumas, the childhood wounds, the wounding of abandonment, betrayal, abuse on any level, you know, children subconsciously bring online an archetype for safety and security, right? Let's say a child who is experiencing abandonment or abuse, they might bring online the people pleaser. Because when the people pleaser is online, and I can be as perfect, the perfectionist comes online, then it's safer, right? But then that serves us in childhood, but we drag that into our adulthood. And now we've got this armor of the perfectionist and the people pleaser, and suddenly we're a raging codependent, you know, or a raging perfectionist, where we are so judgmental and incapable of seeing people, meeting them where they are, because we have so many misperceived wounds that have not been addressed, recognized, and healed. So I think this is all happening so much more today. There's so much more safety in talking about mental health, safety in talking about spirituality. And it makes sense.
Yeah. And everything you're saying, the word bravery comes up for me too, because to create that safety, you have to be brave enough to say, hey, this isn't working for us anymore. And can we do better, or can we do something different? Can we try something different here? And so creating these circles, creating these pockets of safety, you know, where you can be brave and try something on or try something out and say, you know, I'm not sure exactly how this looks, and I don't know exactly how it is to speak my truth. So bear with me, you know, and just being like, we don't have to get it right the first time. Sometimes it's messy, but you're surrounded with a generation of people who are all kind of starting to come online and say, oh, we get to do this differently. You want to come play along with it? Do you want to try with me? Because it's, and watching these communities develop and grow based on, like you said, safety. I'm going to say the word sustainability, because it's supporting continuous growth, as opposed to once you reach this point, you have to make a decision, and it's a never ending story, as opposed to just expansion and exploration. It's incredible. So I'm so glad that you're talking about that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love that. It is a never ending story. And not only is it a never ending story, but it's also a choose your own outcome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With co-creating with spirit and with each other. So
yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So thank you, RD Asru, for asking, for a card, for bringing this to light and into the field today. I think a lot of people needed to hear little bits and pieces of all of this.
For sure.
Okay, so you go next.
I saw a Helen on Facebook a while ago. Oh, here we go. I'm adding her. I would love a card, please. Oh, it looks, she's got the Union Jack up there. I guess she's from England or the UK, perhaps.
One of my favorite places on earth.
Yeah.
Oh, I just finished watching. Well, I'm almost finished with Ted Lasso. I'm always late to the party, with awesome shows. So
same. Yeah.
When I saw the flag and you pointed it out, it just immediately made me think of that excellent show. If anybody hasn't seen it,
what a great show!
Oh my God, it's so amazing.
The care of that character, the care and the attention and the intention of that character. It's just like, it makes me want to be a better person. And anything that I'm watching, because I watch intentionally, anything that makes me feel like I am being called to be a better person because of it, because it inspires me, I'm just like, that's a check in my book.
Yeah. Yeah. It is so inspiring. And to watch how he responds, his character truly responds. He doesn't react. He doesn't go after people. They've, are undermining him. And, but yeah, he responds and it's beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yay. Okay. So Helen. I picked from the Goddess Oracle for Helen, and 4 came out. But the interesting thing is that the first 2 that came out were the Flow card and the Creative Spark card. And we have Rhea and Bridget. And I love that they're both gazing in the same direction, which to me feels like they're gazing into the future, or kind of daydreaming about the future. They don't look worried. They don't look rushed. They're just taking their time because they understand that they're in that flow, that creativity is flowing to and through them, but that there may be some like static in the in-between, because the in-between came out with Hecate. And when I looked at her, I just felt like I had this flow, and then the static came in where it felt like, oh, turbulence or something. And what came after, when I said like, okay, what's the turbulence about? Bronwyn forgiveness came out. And so it feels like you may be in this creative flow, you may be feeling the spark, you may be getting the messages, but it feels like if you reach some static, or if you reach a place where you're like, I'm not getting it fully, but I can sense that there's something, maybe look into, am I carrying around things like resentment, grief, or unacknowledged pain of any sort, or like an unacknowledged or unprocessed situation with another person, or a situation or an event that happened? And just look at, whether you might be carrying around something, and whether it might be time to process that. Because that to me is what forgiveness really holds, is I'm willing to process this so I can accept that it happened, and then I can like integrate that and move forward. So I hope that's helpful. I don't know what you got, but that's kind of the message that I had coming through.
I feel like that is. I feel like that is helpful for her, because I feel like there is this real deep shift within herself with regard to her own spiritual awareness. And anytime we level up, we are brought to either deeper into our trauma, that needs to be healed, or deeper into the people in the past who may have hurt us, however that looks. Excuse me. And I feel like that is a lot in where she is right now. I feel like that there is an increase in spiritual awareness. I feel like that there is, in here, this card has come up 4 times in the last hour. And this, it's about the physical aspect within that as well. And then we've also got the four of Wands. Okay. The 4 of Wands is energetic. It's work, it's healing, it's awareness. It's about the Aries taking control and recognizing, where they have their, like, where the rubber meets the road, and they have their eyes on the prize. They have their, and meaning for you at right now, your eyes on the prize being your own healing, your own work, your own elevation, soul evolution. And I think it's really a very cool place to be. And I also want to encourage Helen to, I feel like there's a lot of headiness that happens within all of this. And I feel like I want to encourage Helen also to not take it so seriously, right? To be more playful with it, to be more playful.
Yeah. I feel like Helen has something really special. So I keep getting the word special. So I just wanted to add that too. What you have, Helen, is really special. And so, like Jeffrey just said, just let yourself get out of your head, or find a way out of your head, because what you have to offer is really beautiful. It's really special. So
it's awesome. Yeah, it's really beautiful. Thank you, Helen. I'll leave you with that, my dear.
Thanks, Helen.
I hope she's still here. Okay, I'm gonna go back to Instagram. Let's see, is anybody? Let's see. June Bug Traveling, Vicky. Vicky, let me know if you're still here. Will business pick up for the company I work for? She says. Vicky says, will business pick up for the company I work for? Oh my gosh. Really? This is the message for the day.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
This is the message for the day for all of us. Yes. What do you have to say, Liz?
I have a yes, but. So
go ahead.
Here, I pulled from the Good Tarot, and this is number 15, Temptation, but my eyes immediately went to the treasure chest. And so I felt like, it's a yes, but she's also, biting out of this apple. And then the other 2 cards that came out were the King of Water, like King of Cups, and the 7 of Fire, like the 7 of Wands. And if you just bear with me for a second, my eye immediately went to the unicorn horn here, and the trines. There's like a Triton here that this like King Neptune is holding. And the prongs of it are or the tines of it are kind of facing the same direction as that unicorn horn. And so seeing this, it's like a yes, but it feels like, but not without inaction. Like there's going to need to be a little bit of a prodding of some sort, like with that Triton. And then with the unicorn, where it's in motion, and it's come to the top of the hill, but like it had to get up there. It didn't just find itself there. It had to like a light onto the top of that mountain. So I don't feel like it's a huge slog, but it does feel like there's got to be a little bit of prodding in the right direction, but that business will pick up. So I hope that's helpful.
Yeah, I too pulled a couple cards while Liz was talking, Vicky, and the first card that came up was trust. Can you read that? Trust. And then and this one is passage. So if you look at her, she's moving forward. And along with this, the gain card, you know, which is, look at all those discs, all those coins, all those pentacles, you know. And then followed by that card was the Empress. Yes, there is definitely, but not without your own movement and proactive work.
Yeah.
Meaning you and the company, you know what I'm saying? Meaning, but yeah, I do feel like that it is in the cards, as they say.
There you go. You heard it right here.
Oh, Vicky says, yes, they're working on some marketing. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. That feels like a really good place to put some focus for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
She says, yes, it's a feast or famine kind of business. And you're just in the famine right now. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Is there anybody else on here?
I saw Maria Simmons. I'm going to click her in. Good afternoon. Would like a card pulled. Okay. I don't know if she's still here.
Yeah. Maria.
Hi, Maria.
Here.
You're so welcome, Victoria. It was such a pleasure reading for you. And I totally get that feast or famine. You know, you just got to hang in there. It's good that you're able to hang in there. My goodness. I don't know if Maria's still here. Should we move to another one and then we can come back if she hops on? Yeah. There was another one named Dawn. Would love to have a card pulled. That was from earlier in the hour.
There she is. Oh, you just put that up. Oh, okay. Dawn, let us know if you're still here. Dawn or who?
Doesn't it feel like we're kind of like in a seance? We're like, if John's in the room, knock 3 times.
Yeah.
Oh, John's here. Okay, perfect. So I have some cards for you, Dawn. I have a repeater card here from earlier, the Knight of Swords. And this is so interesting because the last card I pulled had a horse that looked like this, that had the unicorn. And this one, it's almost like the sword is making that horn. So I feel like there's a lot of repeating energy coming around. 6 of Wands and Justice. So whatever this is, it is your time to shine, Dawn. Like, it is your time to let yourself get comfortable with being seen, with being admired, with receiving compliments, gifts, kindness, joy. Because this 6 of Wands, look at her. They're throwing the roses at her. And I just love her sass where she's like, yes, I know. Yes, I'm ready to receive this because I worked hard to get here and I did the work so I can receive and not block this. And that Justice comes in and says, don't worry, because you are going to stay balanced through this. And it feels like there's like an old fear where, oh, if I'm seen as this, or if I enjoy it too much, then, you know, there's something out of balance, or I shouldn't do that. And this instead is just acknowledging, like, if you're moving in the direction of the life that you really want, it's yours. It's here. It's yours. You're creating it. And the balance is coming in too. I just love this energy. So thank you.
Yeah. You know, I love that too, because here we have this card again, the 4 of Wands, you know,
Wands, yeah.
It's that action, and it's that Aries, you know, that's blazing a trail, eye on the prize. And followed by, you know, the 2 of Cups. Is that the 2 or the 3? Yeah, the 2. Yep, 2 of Cups. So this love, I mean, that's you know, it's a beautiful energy to have in this environment. And then I want to also caution you that don't let the what's the word I'm looking for? The challenges, don't let the challenges get into your head. Don't get stuck. Don't take them too personally. You have this ability to rectify challenge, address challenge, to pivot. And I can feel this within you. So in spite of the challenges, know them to be opportunities to make this even greater. I hope that resonates with you, Dawn.
Thanks, Dawn. I love that the devil's also showing. I was just writing down like our repeater cards because I like to afterwards, like if someone is a card reader, I really love being able to pull the repeater cards at the end and kind of do my own reading and see like what was significant about that. So that's interesting too. Oh, good luck, Dawn. You've got this.
Oh my gosh, you've so got this.
You've got
I mean,
this.
all of that strength at your back. I mean, it feels like here's the thing. I say this often. When we're in alignment with our soul, we really don't have to try that hard. We obviously have to be proactive, and meet spirit halfway. But when we're in alignment like that, synchronicities just show up one after another.
Yeah, it'll be smooth like Daniel. That's a callback to last week when we were talking about energy. It's so funny. I have time for one more reading.
Yep.
If that works for you.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
It's 10 o'clock for you, isn't it?
It's 10 o'clock. It's way past my bedtime.
Thank you.
I don't know if you have someone
up with us.
Yeah, thank you. This is so fun.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Dawn, go with your intuition. It won't steer you wrong.
Let's do one for the collective. How about that?
Sure, that sounds great. I pulled 3 cards from this Oracle deck called Into the Lonely Woods, and it just breaks my heart into a million pieces because the imagery is so sweet. But I love this messaging. The first card I pulled was Time to Move On, and there's this butterfly carrying this little being. Time to move on.
Aww.
The sadness of letting go.
Aww.
And the learning of the rights. And so it feels like this beautiful, heartfelt acknowledgement. Like it is time to move on, but we're going to acknowledge that when we move on, we do have to leave some things behind. And that's not always easy. And you're allowed to feel the feels about that. Like it's exciting where you're going and 100% pull in that excitement, vibrate with that excitement. But also it feels like it's so important to honor what you are leaving behind, like to honor what brought you to this place, what brought you to this leveling up.
Totally.
And when we do that, we also, it's part of like learning the new rituals, learning the new rites. And I love that they've got this blanket and they're like tossing this one up in the air where it's joyful and it's fun, but it's like, as you can honor the past, you can move into the future with so much more joy as opposed to holding a lot of fear and then like a sliver of joy. So it's like you can really amplify the joy if you also are honoring where you came from, because then you're moving forward without this like nervousness and doubt in the same way.
Yeah. That echoes one of the readings we did earlier. I don't remember who it was at the moment, but it echoes one of the readings from before. And so having said all of that, where we are, so many of us are in this process of that letting go, of change, of that fear of the unknown. And we or we're at the precipice of it and we're, you know, we're holding on. We have ethereal claw marks in everything that we're holding on to, you know?
I feel that. I feel that.
Totally. And just to know that, you know, when we are at that place, when we know we have to let go, whether it's a relationship or a friend or work, you know, that just isn't in alignment with who we are anymore. Whatever, or the home, maybe we're struggling underneath our roof and we have a not a very kind landlord. You know what I mean? There's so many things that we are up against right now. And I just really want to encourage to remember, like, that backbone that came up earlier. We all have that. We all have that within us. I think most of us didn't learn how to stand within it. You know, we didn't learn how to stand in our power, to take back our power, to recognize our own power. And it's in all of this letting go where we truly start to shed light on who we are and what is important. And we start to move in that direction. And that's when we start to truly fall in alignment with our soul. And that's when things come into line and things, like we said earlier, things just start to happen. You know, things just, synchronicities line up one after another for us. And the card that came up for me through all this is the victory card, the 6 of Wands. And when we are paying attention to all of that, the challenge, which is opportunity, the struggle, which is more opportunity, finding, just starting to discover where our strengths lie within us, right? That's what this card is telling us, reminding us that this is absolutely within us when we are coming from that authenticity and surrender.
Yeah, for sure.
Liz, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much to everyone who's been here. Your energy is amazing. This has been so fun. Thank you so much for having me back. I love being in your company.
I love being in your company too. So we're going to do this again.
Thanks. Yes, for sure.
I'm going to email you as soon as we're done.
Yes. Awesome. Sounds good. Let's definitely do it.
Thank you so much for being here. It's really great to see you all again. And next Wednesday, we're going to be on here. I have a couple invites out. I don't know who's going to come in next, but you know they're going to be fun. So, all right, you guys, I love you all to smithereens. Liz, I love you to pieces. I'll see you guys.
Love you so much. Thank you.